The mysterious and powerful Mazaz is one of the coolest and most interesting characters who came out of 2013's Forever Evil event, the first major event of the New 52. So, just for fun, today on Top 10 Nerd, we are going to talk about 10 Mazaz facts you need to know. I'm Adam Andrews. Let me know your favorite DC comic events in the comments below, and let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, Earth 3. Before we talk about who exactly this guy is, we need to talk about where he's from. Earth 3. Earth 3 is a parallel universe to the Prime Earth DC continuity where all the mainline stories take place. Each universe that makes up the 52 universes in DC's multiverse has something that makes it differ from the Prime Earth. And on Earth 3, it's a bit of a doozy. Almost everything on Earth 3 is backwards to a degree. The maps of the Earth are mirrored, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, and most importantly, the ideologies of the world are flipped on their head. Instead of idolizing peace and justice and fairness, everyone on this world is obsessed with strength and dominance. Number 9, the Crime Syndicate. On this twisted Earth, all of our classic heroes are evil versions of themselves. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Firestorm, they have taken on different names. Ultraman, Owlman, Superwoman, Johnny Quick, and Deathstorm. And more than that, they are also comically despicable, especially Ultraman, who is like a kryptonite-addicted meathead. There is also Power Ring, the version of Green Lantern. In this Earth, the ring speaks to its bearer in an almost kind of cruel way, putting them down and driving them to assert their power like the other Emerald Knights, who are led by the overlords of Oa. Together, these villains have formed the Crime Syndicate of America, using their powers and influences to eventually take complete control of the whole world. This puts them in direct conflict with the team that Mazaz is a part of. Number 8, the Legion of Justice. So just as all the heroes are bad guys, the villains that we know are heroes. We get to see this in an Infinite Frontier story called Crime Syndicate from 2021. Now, Mazaz as we know him from the Forever Evil event in the New 52 does not show up in this story, but all the other characters of Earth 3 do, and they are brought together by the man who does eventually become Mazaz. Sinestro, Poison Ivy, Lonar, Savannah, Power Tower, even a Harley Quinn Red Hood. These are all members of the Legion of Justice, this Earth's superhero team that stands in opposition to the Crime Syndicate. But who the heck is their leader? Number 7, Alexander Luthor. So as some of you know, the man who would become Mazaz is actually Earth 3's Alexander Luthor. In the Infinite Frontier Crime Syndicate series, Alexander Luthor is the man who brought together the heroes to stand against the Crime Syndicate of America. He is a billionaire just like his Prime Earth counterpart, and while he is just as arrogant and has a vendetta against Ultraman, he's actually quite heroic. He prefers to save lives, and another Kryptonian hero, Supergirl, even allied herself with Alexander against her own cousin, Ultraman. What throws me off is that in this comic series, Alexander does look quite a bit different than the Mazaz that we eventually see. And spoilers, he loses at the end of the series. So while I believe the world we see in the Crime Syndicate series is indeed the one where Mazaz comes from, I believe it varies in one major way from the Forever Evil Earth 3. Number 6, world's strongest superhero. When we first ever meet Mazaz, he is described as the most powerful superhero on Earth 3. He was for a long time the biggest threat that the Crime Syndicate of America ever faced, and he has even taken the lives of a lot of the CSA's members, using his superpowers, which we will talk about in a sec. So right from the get-go, this version of Alexander Luthor in Forever Evil has actual superpowers and was incredibly adept with them. But another big difference to the Lex Luthors we are used to is that this guy has got a full head of red hair and a big old beard. He looks kind of like Chuck Norris. You remember when that was a meme that we could just never escape? Also, while Crime Syndicate Alexander was heroic and wanted to save lives, Mazaz is almost unhinged. He's extremely dangerous and he attacks everyone. The Crime Syndicate and the Prime Earth characters trying to save the day, but what makes him so dangerous? Number 5, power absorption. If you have a keen eye, or maybe you already know the story, then you'll know that the word Mazaz is actually just Shazam backwards. Remember how I said everything on Earth 3 was backwards? Well, that's what that is. So Alexander was just a regular guy, as much as a Luthor can be, until at some point in his life he figured out how to take the powers of superpowered beings that he takes the life of while in striking distance. It seems that the first person who lost their power and their life to Alexander was Will Baston, Earth 3's Billy Batson, which gave Alexander the power of Mazaz, to call down dark lightning, transforming him into a more masculine being with superhuman strength, durability, flight, electrokinesis, and presumably magic. When he first shows up, he has already stolen the powers of another hero called Hawkwing, who we don't know and we probably never will. But he also goes on to steal Speed Force abilities, Bizarro-like powers, and even the abilities that the Firestorm Matrix provides. So yeah, he is insanely powerful. Number 4, weakness. But just like every hero, Mazaz has weaknesses, and boy, they are some big ones. Just like Shazam, Mazaz has the alter ego form of Alexander Luthor, who, while incredibly smart, is just a regular dude with absolutely no powers, and he becomes incredibly squishy, soft, and weak. What's interesting is that he also doesn't have access to the other powers he has stolen when not in his Mazaz form, which has led some to believe that being Mazaz is what gives him the power to steal abilities in the first place, but then you gotta wonder how he got them from Will Baston. Because of this squishy alter ego, the main way for anyone to bring down Mazaz is to revert him back to his regular form, which can be done when he is hit by his own Black Lightning. When he was hit by the regular Shazam lightning of Black Adam, he was seemingly unscathed, so it needs to be his own Mazaz lightning, and for the record, that lightning can be called down by anyone who shares his voice, like, say, an alternate version of himself. Number 3, captured. Despite his one major weakness, Mazaz still put up a major fight with the CSA, but with their combined efforts, they had managed to revert him back to his regular human form, at which point they had managed to tie him up, cover his mouth, and take him prisoner. And that's how we first ever actually see him. When the CSA invade the Prime Earth reality in Forever Evil, they bring along Alexander Luthor as their prisoner, presumably so that Ultraman and the rest of them can get their revenge on him. On a side note, keeping your greatest #1 enemy alive when you have them captured? Worst decision you can make as a supervillain. Batman does it with the Joker all the time, and it always comes back to bite him, but as a villain, you don't have a moral code, so like, why would you do that? Anyways, I'm ranting. Let's move on. Number 2, Superwoman. So this may be a small spoiler for the Forever Evil story, so if you want to read it, maybe skip this point. But one member of the CSA in particular seems to be just a bit worse than the rest. Ultraman is a man baby who has a serious kryptonite issue. Owlman has some serious psychological problems and is incredibly devious, and Johnny Quick just enjoys taking lives. But Superwoman, who is an Amazonian Lois Lane in Forever Evil, just has everyone under her thumb. She and Ultraman are in a relationship, although it seems like a pretty toxic one, with Ultraman just being a bad dude. But also because Superwoman is also carrying on a secretive relationship with Owlman at the same time. Even worse than that is that she is pregnant. She's having a baby that Ultraman thinks is his, but she is also telling Owlman that the baby is actually his. So how does Mazaz fit into this? Well, it turns out that during the whole thing with Ultraman and Owlman, Superwoman has actually been allied with Mazaz, and the baby is actually his. Like, for reals this time. This child becomes Alexander Luthor Jr. and even becomes wildly important later on. And in at number 1, a bigger bad. Now, the whole reason that the Crime Syndicate of America, with Alexander Luthor in tow, come to the Prime Earth universe in the first place is to both escape Earth 3 and to take control of the Prime Earth and make it their new home. That's because Earth 3 has been completely destroyed by an extremely dangerous threat, which starts making its move into the Prime Earth universe following the Earth 3 heroes, and continuing its path of destruction. This is another spoiler to this 2014 story, so you are warned. Okay, while Superman believes the big bad to be Darkseid making a return, the readers get to know the truth. Being shown the ruins of Earth 3, we see that it is actually the Anti-Monitor that has not only destroyed this Earth, but has also consumed nearly all of that universe. This now leads us directly into Darkseid War. Alrighty y'all, that is all the time I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm Adam Andrews, thanks for watching Top 10 Nerd, and peace out nerds!